This is a game in the AMX 50B, the French Tier 10 heavy. It's got a clip, 4-shot clip, pretty good mobility. It's pretty fast on a straight line. It kind of bleeds speed a little bit when you turn. No real armor to speak of, but the clip makes it pretty formidable. And so we'll try to find areas in which we can use that. And we're playing on the south side of Abbey. So typically in a tank like this without much armor, but with some bursts, you'll want to go into this 1-2 area over here. I'm in a platoon with Blue and Captain, so you can typically coordinate what you're going to do in situations like that. And so Captain's in an E3 and Blue's in a medium tank, so Captain's going to go around over to this 1 line. And what I like to do, particularly in faster tanks, is head over onto this 2 line, and then usually you send people up to this, your puppies will go up into the Abbey. So you'll have some idea of what's over there, and then based upon what you see over here, you can decide how far forward you want to move on the 2 line. You don't want to move too far forward if you don't control the Abbey, because it's really easy for those guys in the Abbey to shoot you. But as we will show, if you do get good position on the 2 line, it also goes the other way, where you can get good shots on those guys that are in the Abbey. So we have our 46 Patton and Blue over in the middle. We sent a couple of mediums and a couple tank destroyers over to this 8 line. Usually you don't want to take mediums over that 8 line. It's they're usually pretty useless over there because you're in an alley and you typically run into either heavy tanks or tank destroyers. So we see that they have a Foch 155 IS-8 over here. We know where their 2 batch hats are, so we know that those batch hats aren't going to be a threat on this 1-2 line, so we can take a little bit of time here. We're not in a super rush, and we can just see what else these guys spot in the middle. And I'm waiting for Captain and the rest of our team to get up here anyways. It's not something that you want to push in a 50B when you're all by yourself. So we know that there's a 57 on the 1 line, but he's pretty far back, so he's not a threat to come up on the 2 line, so it's not that big of a deal yet. So we're still waiting because we don't have any intel on this line. But at this point, there's no real rush because their team really hasn't dispersed that far anyways. So we're pushing up that 1 line. The IS-4 and this IS-3 have come up on this line. I'm reloading right now. So what we want to be able to do, see how we still have a presence inside the Abbey to light the Abbey. So if I move up through this 2 line, I'm going to start to be able to get shots on those guys as they progress forward, like this batch hat that's moving forward. Of course, I'm still loading at this point. And they're not pressuring us on this 2 line, right? So they've backed off on this 1-2 line, which gives us all the time in the world to potentially shoot these guys.
It's a trap!
And then because we know there's not much pressure coming over here, we can just back up over here so the guys in the middle can't shoot us. So we were able to clip out, and then you just back up. And you don't want to back up too far because if the artillery is still over here, then they can potentially shoot you, but that's unlikely because see how we're starting to crest around this 1 line over here? So it suggests that their artillery is over on this east side. Meanwhile, it looks like we're probably going to lose over on this east side. Not entirely unexpected given the tanks that we sent over there. We should be okay in the middle. Probably not terrific, but we'll see what we can do.
It's a trap!
Looks like most of them are on this outside, the other side of the Abbey, trying to shoot at these guys on the 6-7. In the meantime, Captain's pushing forward over here, so we'll have to go over and figure out a way to help him out. See how we have control of the west side of the Abbey here? So it's not really that useful for me to overwatch like where Blue is right now, unless you really think that they're going to push down on him. And that's the only case. But their attention seems to be sent elsewhere, so it's not that big of a deal.
It's a trap!
And so their waffle is in the back here, so Captain's in a little bit of a vulnerable position. And we're fairly certain that their artillery is on the east, so when you position yourself here, you always want to be in a position where you're safe from that east side. And I think this 4502A, forgot that I'm here, and then always aim through the drive wheel when you can. And unfortunately, Captain gets killed. He gets double tapped by the T-92 and then the E-100. And then, so what I want to be able to do is clear this T-57 off this top area here. All right, I know the artillery fired. I know the E-100 is on the bottom level. I know at least a little bit earlier the T-57 had clipped out, so I know that I got that shot for free. He's probably reloaded now, but it's worthwhile for me to drive out, take one shot from him to kill him to prevent him from being able to proxy spot me. Because if he proxy spots me here, it's going to be really difficult for me to be able to leave. So getting him down is key. And then now, see how we've sort of this 6-line area has become a little bit of a question mark. So Blue's playing in this area right here. These guys didn't need to push around on this E-100, particularly in the fashion that they did. They potentially have the Ferdinand and the E-75 that can shoot these guys. So I'm trying to get myself into a position where I can potentially cover them if these guys show up over here. Blue's pushing up through this 6-line. So I'm looking to see if I can cover him if somebody is over on this 7-line, for example. But it's not, and so he's able to basically just drive right in. And so we'll try to get a couple shots of damage on this E-100.
It's a trap!
And then you'll notice that we only took 2 shots there. Again, two reasons for that. One, we know the T-92 is somewhere over there probably. The other thing is that, you know, even though we have a 4-shot clip, you don't always have to use every shot of the clip. You want to be as economical as possible in terms of the way that you trade. So Blue should be able to take out the artillery, which would be very nice for us. This E-100 is still here, but he's moved up to this top level. And so Blue gets double tapped by the Ferdinand, that's in presumably in A5 still, and the E-75 that was in the middle. He's presumably still in the middle. I have this E-100 here. This E-100 kind of has to push against me because the IS-3 is underneath, basically. And so all I'm trying to do is shoot the drive wheel there and back up and then make him, you know, have to drive around again. Because what you're looking for there is, does he have a repair kit still? And if he does, you know, what can you essentially do about it? And the Ferdinand just hit the E-100 corpse. So the Patton is underneath us, E-75 is still over here. But the E-75 is pretty well surrounded. And so either the Patton is coming back over here to shoot at these guys who are lit, or he's going to continue to run around this way. And I didn't see him underneath over here, so I'm going to go check around on this side. The other alternative is that he went all the way around here to try to flank me. So I don't see him over here either. So I know that because I peeked over on this side that he's not over here. I know that he's not over here, which means that he definitely went down the 1-2 line. And then it's just a matter of chasing them down. The nice thing about the 50B is that it is really fast on a straight line, so you can chase down a lot of tanks.
It's a trap!
And then I whiff a shot there, but it's okay. We're able to take them all out. And so the moral of the story, the many morals of the story, is that so we advanced over this 2 line here, but we didn't go too far down before we knew exactly where their tanks were, right? We understood where their tanks were in the middle, and it's not something where you want to drive down the 2 line if they have people who could spot you over here, because then the middle gets really easy shots on you. But once we established that they didn't have guys in the middle, then it was really easy for us to sit there and shoot their guys in the middle. You basically got those shots for free. And then you clear out the rest of this area over here, and then you can deal with the rest of your base at that time. And so if we look at the stats, pretty much as one might presume, we were able to do almost 6k damage, and mostly because we were pretty economical with the clip. You know, there's a lot of times where if you can get a full clip off for free, like against that bat chat that was in the Abbey, that that's fantastic, you know, do it. But a lot of times as well, you'll be up against like that E100 where we're shooting down on him. We can only get 2 of 4 shots. You know, that's still not bad, you know. And then you can either conserve the rest of that clip for another tank if you need to, or you can just reload. It depends on the position that you're actually in. And so, anyways, that's pretty much how I would play the 50B. You always want to sort of be on the edge there where you can get, you know, poke around someplace and use your clip and sort of abuse the burst aspect of it. But I'll always sort of be cognizant of where you can be shot from because it does have thin armor, so like that T92 can pen it for full damage and things like that. So it's something that you always want to be aware of when you're driving the 50B around. So, oops. Anyways, that's about it, and thanks for watching.